What's up everyone, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be about pre-owned games and trade-ins. This kind of ties in a little bit to the physical versus digital copy video that I made a couple weeks ago. I'm going to leave the link here, and it also ties into the pre-orders to say, so that's also going to be a link right there as well. Nintendo just came out with their E3 release, and to celebrate they have a bunch of their titles on sale on the eShop at the moment. And I actually went online this morning and I got Doom for the Switch, and it was like $30, I think, like $29.99. Now, I already have Doom on Xbox One, but that stays at home. There's been times where I've been outside and I'm like, man, I really want a good shooter on my Switch, but all I have is like Mario Kart and Smash Bros, and it's like I want like a gruesome game, you know? And I thought about getting Doom for a while, but I didn't want to drop $60 for a DLC Doom. But I also didn't want to get a physical copy because the physical copy is like $54. I think at the moment, right now, it's like $45 pre-owned if I buy it for Switch as a physical copy. But then I figured for $15 less, I can get it as a digital copy on my Switch and I can bring it with me anywhere. I kind of hate having to bring around, like, I don't mind bringing my Switch because I bring it in my Switch case anyways. But I'm not really a fan of collecting all my games on here, you know, having to switch it out, especially if it's already in the dock. On my Switch itself, I already have a bunch of digital games, like a ton. So these are mainly all my digital copies, Cuphead and everything, Doom, Super Smash Bros, Mario Kart, that's all digital. I only have a handful of games like Breath of the Wild that are physical. That's where the value of pre-owned game comes in. A lot of people don't want to buy pre-owned games because they don't want to buy a used game, but they need to understand that there's a huge difference. If, you know, a game just came out like Mortal Kombat 11, if you buy it new, it's going to be, you know, $60, but if you buy it pre-owned, it's only going to be like $54, so it's, or $55, so it's only like $5 less. So you might as well buy a new copy at that point. But depending on how old the game is, sometimes a game might be still $60 brand new, you know, $59.99 brand new, but it might be $45 pre-owned, and a $15 difference is a huge difference. Plus, it's really good because certain places, like with GameStop, if you buy a pre-owned game and you don't like the game, then you can return it. Whereas like if I bought a new game, like the first time I tried Dark Souls 3, it was a really hard game, so I bought it, but I was stuck with it. I couldn't return it, so all I could do was trade it in, and at that point I only get like $30 back for trading it in, right? So that's where the pre-owned value comes in handy. And for the most part, like I said, you know, some cases are a little more well taken care of than other cases are, but you can always replace the case if you have spare cases laying around. The only thing I'm not a fan of is a little pre-owned sticker at the top, but I always usually peel these off. This is an older one from whatever it used to be before GameStop. I do keep the ones on the back occasionally, just because it makes it easier for them to scan it in into their own system with their own SKU code if I don't want the game anymore. But you know, they always usually has the manual, has the game. The game's usually in pretty decent condition, not really usually scratched up depending on how you get it. But obviously, you know, you can always buy the game, look at the disc, and be like, oh, if it's not reading, I can go return it and get another copy. And most games are taken care of. They all come with their manuals, which is nice. Like I said, you know, minimum scratches. And you get the full value of the game. So there's no difference between this game being brand new and being pre-owned, except for the fact of it being used or owned by someone else. But I take care of all my discs. So when I trade in my games, I make sure that my games have either been in the case or in the console at all times, never laying on a coffee table, never laying anywhere in between, always one or the other. So when I trade in my games, I know that I take good care of them. And I'll tell you, there's people that I like when I worked at GameStop and I traded in certain games. Some games are so scratched up, like clear rings and stuff, and it's like I can't take this in. And some games were like the cases are like torn up, or like their dog got to it or something, or just got like handprints all over it, and it's like some people don't take care of games, but then you have the one person that comes in with 20 games and every single game is flawless and shiny, and it's like, thank you for being one of those gamers who takes care of the games, because those are the people who appreciate the discs, and then that just keeps its value going throughout so you can keep playing it. There's just a lot of value in buying used, and usually it's cheaper than the downloadable version because the digital copy is always going to be pretty high up until it goes on sale, or after time it'll eventually go down. And the same thing goes with the new copy. New copy is usually going to be the same price until it eventually goes down after the demand's not as high, you know. For this instance, Doom was like $20 off from what it would be digitally, or what it would be as a pre-owned copy, so I bought it on the Switch for a lot less. I mean, I wanted the game, and I thought $30 is usually a good price for a digital copy. It's a great price for a digital copy for a Switch, especially for like a AAA title. So the other thing with pre-owned, and tying a little bit into trade-ins, which I feel like is going to be its own video, but just a little quick segue. When I'm done with a lot of games, I end up trading most of them in. As of right now, I'm done with Sekiro, so I'm going to trade in Sekiro, and I'm going to trade in Yoshi's Crafted World as soon as I finish it. I have like 2 gems left in the game. I don't care about 100%ing those games, so I just, once I'm done, I trade them in. And each of them goes for about like $25, $30, so I have like about $50 to $60 trading credit, which I could trade in towards a new game, you know? So that's another thing with buying physical games, is you can trade them in. With digital copies, once you buy them, they're yours forever, so you can't trade them in. So it's like you have to buy a game that you know you're gonna like forever. But with buying pre-owned or even new games, you don't have to keep them forever unless they're games that you treasure forever, you know? Like Left 4 Dead is one of my favorite series of all time, so I'm never gonna get rid of this copy. Even though I have a digital copy on my computer, I also have physical copies from my Xbox, because that's where I originally was introduced to Left 4 Dead, and sometimes I just want to hop on and play again, you know, with an Xbox controller, so it's kind of nice. But yeah, there's a lot of benefits to buying pre-owned games, and I try to push it a lot with people, but I have friends that always insist on buying digital copies, and it's like, whatever, like, I guess, I mean, either way, you know, you're supporting the company and the developers and everything for the game, so there's different ways to appreciate the game. So as long as you're playing it because you want to play the game and you love the game, then I guess that's what really matters. First thing I check is always what it's worth pre-owned, how much it differs from digital, and then what it would cost for if it was brand new, and that's how I would decide. I would just look at it. If it's even cheaper pre-owned, then I'll just buy it pre-owned. If it's just a little more brand new, then I'll buy it new. And then if it's something that I want to keep forever, then I'll keep it as a digital copy. Otherwise, I'll buy it as a physical copy, because I have the option to trade it back in if I'm done with it. So that's my video for today. Also going to wrap up with the new Super Smash Bros. DLC. I just want to say that I called it, that if Microsoft had teamed up, or at least planned more with Nintendo, then we would get Banjo-Kazooie, which ended up happening. I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer for you right here. And I guess we should have seen it coming with Microsoft having Cuphead come over to Switch, so it was kind of like a little step towards Microsoft and Nintendo. I'm really excited for this. I'm probably not going to play as them as much, but I'm just excited to hear the news because that means we might be able to get more characters outside of the Nintendo brand, which would be amazing. That's going to be it for today. I've been very active on my TikTok, so if you want to follow me on my TikTok, follow me on the other social medias too. Subscribe here, new videos every Wednesday. Got some skits planned, and I am looking forward to doing a new animal science video soon as well. So thanks for watching as always, and hope you have a good one. Catch you later.